Hey everybody, welcome back to another conversation around the table. We're so glad you joined us today. We are excited about this topic. It's not necessarily an easy topic for anyone, but it's a real topic that we all deal with. And so we thought it was important enough to have the conversation as friends at this table, talk about our experiences, things that we've learned, and we want to do that with you. So our topic today is navigating challenging behavior in relationships. So obviously, yeah, we've all dealt and we will continue to deal with challenging behavior because people are people. Yeah. And so no one's perfect. Everybody has their issues. There are things that they are bringing to the friendship from either past experiences, from beliefs that they have, from their own personal just wounding, or maybe areas where there's healing that still needs to take place. So, and no one's perfect here at this table either. We're not saying we're perfect, but we're saying we recognize this is an area that we all struggle and deal with, and we want to always get better and grow in this area for ourselves. And hopefully you'll get some nuggets from today too that will be like, okay, I'm so glad they talked about this. So now I know how to handle this situation, or I have some tools that I can take into a difficult or challenging relationship that I have. So, Robin, you want to kick us off here? Where has there been a challenge or a challenging behavior? Could you identify one challenging behavior that you wrestled with in a relationship that you and how did you resolve that? Or what kind of came from that?
I think one of, I wouldn't even say it was like I think I have to just like go backwards. So I had a friend this might kind of kick it off into something a little bit intense, but I had a friend, this is just what's coming up for me. I had a friend that I was friends with for probably 17 years. And one day I felt this like disconnect. Like it was just this weird, like, what? Something feels off, but I didn't know what it was. And I waited like months before I said something, and I would just continue to reach out and just like, hey, what's going on, and miss you, and that kind of thing. And it slowly kind of began to sort of disintegrate. But I didn't understand why. I didn't understand the why. And so finally, after I want to say like 8 months of this kind of like wondering what was going on and all of that, I got a letter, and the letter was the narrative that she created that absolutely wasn't true, like promise wasn't true, but she wasn't willing to have a conversation about it, like at all. Even to the point where she said, not only can I not be your friend, but I will never step foot in your house again. And it was so, I just felt like it was just such a knife in the heart. Because number one, it was number one, very challenging, because I wanted to, what can I do? Fix it. What can I do to like create a better story for you, even if we don't have to be friends anymore? Like, what can I do to correct the incorrect narrative? Or what can I do to ask you to forgive me for? Or, what part can I own in this? And the most painful part was that it was a delete. It was just like an absolute like press delete. I'm done. Kind of like when you reset your phone and there's nothing there anymore. That's what it felt like. Just a full delete. And that was challenging for me. Number one, because I had to deal with the emotions of the loss. The emotion of misunderstanding, feeling misunderstood. That's the worst thing for me, is when I don't feel understood. It makes me feel like I feel almost frenetic in a way, because I just want to be understood. I don't want to be misunderstood. I feel like that's for mostly everybody. Most people. And then it was also the sense of, not only the sense of loss, but the sense of I can't do anything to make this better.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't do anything to make this right.
Right.
I can't do anything because she won't let me.
Yeah.
She won't allow me into that space to even just bring healing, which is what really God's heart would be.
Right.
And it doesn't mean we have to go in and re-access each other, but at least like, let's just end well.
Yeah.
And there wasn't even that.
No.
It's the worst.
So that was the most challenging part of just like not being able to not, I don't want to use the word closure, but I guess it is closure, just bring resolve.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, whatever that resolve looked like. You know, this was years ago. So I think that probably was one of the most challenging things for me going through that. When you've invested so much time into a relationship and a friendship, and our kids have grown up together and all the things, and then to not be able to have that courageous conversation together,
Right.
and the other person being unwilling to do that was just like, wow, like
Right.
really? Like
Right.
this is where we're at? I don't understand. But then on the flip side of that, I was able to really realize like some things about myself and some things where I carried the friendship more than I should have. And some growth in me of just like being a big girl and just like releasing and letting go, even when I didn't want to. I wanted to hold on, releasing and letting go, and just blessing and not cursing, but really blessing and just going, okay, well, I mean, I guess because it hits that thing of like, I'm not worthy to have a conversation with you. I'm not worth
being
it.
rejected.
It has to do with rejection. It has to do with, and I'm not going to partner with rejection. Like, you have to come to the place where, like, well, if you can't, if you're not willing, then I have to release you. I have to let you go.
Right.
So that, I would say that was one of the most challenging
really
things
hard.
in a friendship for me personally.
Has in that experience, did that ever circle back? Did you ever years later have a conversation
No,
and it was just done?
no, it was a full blown delete,
Wow.
a reset. Reset your iPhone, girl.
Yeah.
I don't exist. So, I mean, it was hard, but you know, and I know most people on this earth have experienced that at least one time
Of course.
with one person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not multiple, but at least one.
Yeah. I had something similar.
Yeah.
Someone close to me that
Yeah.
I did something or something happened, and all of a sudden I'm not getting responses to my texts. I'm not. And it's that thing you could feel. We all can feel in a relationship like something's going on, you know, like this person is pulling away.
Yeah.
But again, you know, trying to have a conversation and going to that person like, hey, can we talk about this? And getting no response. And it's literally, and in this digital world where we delete things and we do that with, you know, I follow a podcast, I don't really like it anymore, I unsubscribe. Like it's a quick kind of delete.
Yes.
You know,
Culture.
I'm cleaning up my Instagram, I'm gonna delete some of these things.
Right.
And because of that world that we live in, there's a fly.
We have a little friend in here. We have a little friend.
That can creep into relationship. And that's exactly how I felt in this, was like, oh wow, I'm deleted. And I had actually watched her do it to other people. And we've kind of talked about this. It's like you watch somebody do it to other people and you think, well, surely that won't happen to us because obviously our relationship is important. And, you know, but similar to you, what I learned out of it was, oh, I was really kind of changing myself to make this person like me more
Yes.
or feel better about themselves.
Or carry the friendship.
Or I'm carrying the relationship.
Yes.
And I realized, you know what? In all honesty, she never really liked me. Like, you know, like she wanted me to be somebody that I wasn't. And I was like, I'm going to be who the Lord made me. I'm not going to be this person that you're trying to make me into. So I wouldn't have learned that about that relationship if she hadn't done that. So while it's super, like when you're going through it and you don't know why the person is upset with you, I mean, you had a letter, but you couldn't even address the letter. you know, and
Well, that took 8 months until you received it. as well.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a long
and it
time.
was a letter with it was a letter with, and don't respond to me because I know that you're going to defend this. And I know what happened. So there was not even like, I always feel like when there's no possibility that you could possibly be wrong,
Right.
we're on dangerous ground.
Right.
right.
Right. Like there's no resolve here.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
there's no possibility of you being wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, here's another thing, and this is very common in our world. It's that whole toxic thing. Well, and this person in my life was like, well, that person is toxic, so I need to separate from them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, can that be true? Yes. Can that be true that there are people that are toxic? Yes. But even saying that, it feels so, it's not the heart of God to just be like labeling someone as toxic and saying, I'm done with you. Because you, I don't know, like, I think I challenged something in her that she didn't want me to challenge, you know? And instead of like trying to please her and make her happy, I actually challenged something and then I was deleted.
Yeah.
And so
Right.
that whole toxic thing, and we make excuses like that. Like we say, well, that person's toxic. I'm not going to have a conversation because I'm not going to engage with someone who's toxic or someone who's dangerous.
Yeah.
And I would really like caution everyone with that whole line of thinking,
Right.
because too many friendships are breaking up and too many people are being deleted from each other, and it really isn't the heart of God. When really, and we've talked about this so much with with relationship, it's like people are made in the image of God and are worthy of being
Yes.
loved. So even if you feel like we're not blessing each other in this close relationship, we need to part and part ways. Do it
Which is
lovingly.
super
Yes.
fine.
Yeah.
It's totally fine.
Yeah.
Do it lovingly.
Yes.
Just
Yeah.
say, hey, I feel like we're going in this direction. I
Right.
love you. I
Right.
bless you. I'm here if you need anything. You know, like it can still be loving, but do it well. And people, it's too easy today to
Yes.
not do it well and to just go unfollow, delete. I'm not going to have a conversation with
Getting
you.
a text message that says deleting you now. Like,
Yes.
wow.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Or one of my favorites is when people just leave a conversation. Like when you're on a group thread and then that person just leaves a conversation
Yeah.
without
An
an
explanation.
explanation.
Yeah.
And you have to like go to them or find them like what is going on.
Yeah.
What
And
happened?
that inability for people to kind of, it's like, for me, what I've experienced in those moments is that person who's doing that has a judgment or a belief about a person or a dynamic happening, and they're unwilling to have the courageous conversation because I think we all know it's okay. We can agree to disagree. We can agree to bless each other and maybe part ways for a season if that's not, our relationship isn't blessing one another and there is things going on. But to not have the conversation,
Yeah.
to remove yourself from people and to actually stop even speaking to them,
Yeah.
or it's, I think that's probably one of the most hurtful and painful
Yeah.
things, hurtful that somebody can do to another person, but also painful things for someone to experience.
Yes.
Because there's no resolution.
Right.
And there's no understanding.
Yeah.
And so that part I think is very challenging, obviously, in relationships to deal with. So for you, like in your situation, how are you navigating, or how did you navigate that? And how did you, where did you land in resolve for that challenge for yourself?
That one was super hard because, like you said, there was no resolution. And if you can have a conversation and at least understand where someone's coming from, try to own what you could have
Yes.
done wrong, what you could do differently,
Right.
apologize if you said
Right.
something, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least get clarity. That's the thing where we talked about it, like, can keep you in a loop. And so how did I literally had to just keep giving it to the Lord and asking the Lord to show me, what do I need to do with this? how do I release this person? There were so many times where I asked the Lord to just come and hug my heart. It actually makes me a little emotional because it's so painful to have someone leave you, you know?
It is.
And like, come just to hug my heart because it hurts, you know? And I can't resolve it. So I just need you to come in and heal it.
Yeah.
And he did. And he did. And then in the process, I learned so much about actually that relationship was really unhealthy, and it was really not very life-giving for me.
Yes.
Because again, I was trying to be somebody that she'd like instead of who I really am, you know, joyful, happy, you know, like I'm trying to be somebody that understands her and empathizes, and it was not healthy. So in the end, I feel like God kind of extricated me from that or used it. I think the deleting thing and the literal just silence, you are dead to me now, is one of the most unkind things that we could do to each other.
Yes.
I agree.
Like I'm literally on camera saying, I want you, don't ever let me do that. Like if you see me, like seriously, like you have to end well.
Yes.
You owe another human being that you've invested life in. You did 17 years of life. It's like even people that you just went to church with, like they're human beings. We are human beings, and we deserve the kindness. We should give each other the kindness of like ending and releasing well. You know, even if you have to pull back, you still respond and say, I love you, or, you know, whatever. Like there's ways to pull back that don't have to be so punishing. And that's what that is. The silence, I'm deleting you, I'm cutting you off, you don't exist. That's punishing.
It is punishing.
And it hurts really bad, and it's really unkind, you know. So for me, I had to let the Lord heal my heart and realize I'm going to get what I need from him. And my husband's my best friend, and I have him, and I've got him. And we've talked about this too, where like God allows those people to leave to make room for the new, for those that do see the gold in you and don't want you to be anybody different than who you are. Gosh, Jeff, who you are brings life to me. You know, that's who you want to be friends with. That's who you want to be, not someone who wants you to be somebody different. So
or if you find yourself, like you said, like trying to be somebody that you weren't to please somebody, right? That never goes well in relationships. And I think that, you know, that is something like I'm a people pleaser for sure, you know, so recovering people pleaser. So, you know, you always, you know, in that space of like, I love people, I love relationships, I want to make everybody happy, I want to like make sure everybody's good. You can, you know, give into bad behavior, you know, in the relationship, or allow things to happen that are actually not healthy for you or for the person. And then when those situations happen where you've been iced or deleted or removed from a relationship without an explanation or a conversation, just completely, you know, like, no, like, I forget how you phrased it, but basically like the silencing, the punishing, and like, I'm not speaking to you anymore, but there's no resolve. You know, that is incredibly painful. And at the same time, like as time goes on and like months go on, because it's happened to me as well, the same situation you both experienced. It's you, in the kindness of the Lord, you know, I think as hard and painful as those situations are, and again, like not to say I wouldn't want to have the resolve and the conversation and help me understand what happened here with the person, you do kind of see like, oh, I mean, I'll speak for myself. I saw in myself like, oh, I allowed certain things that I should have never allowed.
Right.
And I actually, some of this is on me because I wasn't honest about this. And I wasn't honest with myself about this. And I, really you know, just, there's areas that I think as we start to, because we all go through these things in relationships. We will go through these things because people are people and people have their own pain and their own stuff. And we can hit each other in that space because, you know, the word talks about this, like we are living stones being rubbed up against each other. And relationships are messy at times and they're challenging, and it's hard. It's not always easy, but to talk about it is what our heart is, like to expose that this is a reality, but then how do you own your part
Right.
when you can't have resolve?
Right.
And how do you move forward when there's no resolution
Right.
and no understanding?
Right.
And I think that's really what we wanted to communicate in this and talk about. And for me, that was part of it. For me, was recognizing, like I was saying, like, oh, I have to own my part in this. This isn't just this person, but I had a piece in this too, And so I wish I could have that conversation. I wish we could have these conversations, and we could all own our piece and our part and, have some understanding and clarity, and then bless each other to like,
Right. Right.
I'm for you to move on and enjoy your life. And I bless you, the relationship will always look different,
Right.
but it doesn't mean it can't be kind of resolved in the right way instead of the way that it's so easy. And I think it is part of the digital culture where it's just, I can unfollow you, I can delete you, I can erase you, I can, all of the things, the bad behavior that can happen, which is really just, it's sad that that's actually where we're at in relationships in this time and culture. And it is hard to connect face to face, to actually get time with the person, because nobody wants to do that, because it's a courageous conversation, like you said. Conflict is normal in relationships, which we've talked about. Conflict actually leads to like depth of relationship and understanding. And conflict is actually, I've always said this, like conflict it's not fun when you're in it, but it's if we can normalize it, it doesn't feel so triggering or so like explosive. It's like, oh, this is like, we're going to misunderstand each other. We've all had this, with each other. Like there's been times when things have happened and I'm like, oh wait, I got to have a conversation with you, or wait, help me understand what's going on here. Or I'm thinking that's what's happening, but that's the right, I'm not perfect in this at all, but I'm just saying that's where we want to go. That's the goal, is the conversation, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think too, like with the whole delete thing, like, and like all three of us have said, there are moments where we really desire for things to circle back and to have the hard conversation and just like be in it. And if the person isn't willing, I haven't been willing at times in my life where I'm like, I don't even know anything that's good gonna come out of this or whatever. But I'm referring to a complete breakdown and a complete delete. We can either I feel like the Lord allows us time to self-examine. If I can't get to the other side of this with someone, then examine me. Examine my heart. Examine what I have participated in that wasn't healthy. Examine my heart where I don't, a pattern in me that I don't want to repeat.
Right.
That I didn't actually bring value in this person's life, but I actually was doing it out of my own selfish space or something I didn't know about myself or whatever that looks like. Like, I just want to always lean into being healthy.
Yeah,
exactly.
And so I feel like when the person isn't willing to have the conversation, it draws us, if we choose, into a place of self-examination.
Yes.
To become more healthy.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I can say, like with you, Joanne, just being so close to you, this is just coming up for me when you said I'm a recovering people pleaser. Like, I don't experience that with you.
Oh, good.
Because
I'm completely recovered.
Because for us, you're enough for us. You don't have to prove or move or maneuver or do anything to prove to you and to Jiff and I that you don't have to prove anything to us. Like, we know that you love us. And I don't want you to be that. Be that with me. I wouldn't want to be that, because that's like, that's icky. It can get icky. You know what I mean? And you're not icky. You're just a really good friend. And you're healthy. And you are loving and kind, you know, and that's what I want to be to people,
Yeah.
you know, and so much of growing older, hopefully we realize that we don't want to do anything in relationship that's moving from a place of insecurity, because that establishes something that is so unhealthy. When you build upon insecurity and the need for people to love you and the need for people to like you and want you and all of that, it's a house of cards.
Right.
Yeah.
Because when you step into a place where you're taking responsibility for someone else's inner world and their
Deficit.
heart and their what they're dealing with, it's like, and we can do that because we love and we want to help and we have resources and we want to encourage.
Right.
Yeah.
But it can really often become where we're being this person or trying to heal this person and it's not going to work, you know? And it's like they actually have to do the work themselves and they have to grow and all the things. So I think it's like in our spirit of love, sometimes we allow things that we shouldn't allow, you know? And I dealt with that too. It's like, why would I diminish myself and hide from... Plus, it kind of triggers mine triggered my own insecurities. Like, well, maybe I should be more like her and less like me, you know? And I think we can fall into that too. Like, maybe I need to adjust to be more like this person. And it's like, be who God made you to be, you know?
Yeah.
So I love that. And one of the things too I love about us is I feel like we've all gotten to a place where if something's happened or there's a misunderstanding, I know that with both of you, and I try to do this too, it's like, I'm going to assume the best first.
Yes.
Yes.
Like, okay, that comment or that thing kind of stung, but I'm going to assume, you know, it was pizza or it was, you know what I mean? Like it was just a bad moment or they were kidding or like first go to assuming the best. But again,
Heart is good.
Yeah. And then it's like, okay, I'm going to assume the best. I'm going to assume that this wasn't their heart. And then if I need to, and I've watched you do that too, Joanne, I've watched you do it, like where it's like, okay, that didn't feel great, but I'm going to assume that their heart was in the right place, you know? And then some things you can let go and then some things you have to have the conversation.
Yeah.
And it's worth it.
And it doesn't have to be all intense and deep.
no.
Like we can just go, girlfriend, what did you mean by that? You know? And usually it's nothing. Usually it's nothing, but it doesn't, like I feel like there's this thing where like people kind of shy away and just like, have to have another conversation. It doesn't have to be like that. It can just be, it can be lighthearted. You know? Like it can be light and easy. It's not that deep.
It could just be, do you need some food?
Yeah, exactly.
Right now? Or
Are you
take a nap? But you know what I'm saying? There's always layers under the surface for everyone.
Right.
And we don't always know what's going on for them internally. And their internal world could be creating a response to something that doesn't match the situation. So when that's going on, you're like, okay, something is definitely off here.
Yeah.
And so even when that's happening, when you're being deleted or someone stops responding to you or they just stop speaking to you and there's no explanation, you're like, okay, I can only do so much to try to connect. And if that person is continuing in that pattern with me, then, you know, you have to go, okay, there's something going on here, and until they're ready to talk, there's nothing I can do, which is horrible, and it's hard to be in that space. But then, like you said, it's an opportunity for self-examination. And Lord, purify my heart. Is there anything in me that I need to deal with? Is there anything in me that I need to adjust or, you know, like fix in terms of like how I deal with people, relationships, my external world of community, so that you can grow and be healthy? Because we all know we don't grow outside of relationship.
Right.
You know, we can all isolate and stay stuck in the place of wherever we're at in our life, you know, maturity-wise or character-wise. But relationships really push everything to the surface.
Right.
And all of the things that are hard and fun and good and, you know, sometimes not so pretty. But when you have relationships where, and I think that when you have relationships with people that you know love you and think the best about you, or at least choose to believe the best about you, and then ask the questions if they're not
Right.
experiencing that of you,
Right.
or just like their heart is for you.
Yeah.
That feels safe, and that's a place where it's easy to have a courageous conversation.
Right.
It's harder when that is an unknown, or there's been like you thought that was the case, and now the behavior is saying something different.
Yeah.
But there's no resolution to that.
Yeah.
So it is, again, it's tricky, but I think the only thing we can do is to, like you said, release, self-examine and figure out, like, is there anything I need to look at, Lord, and anything I need to do?
Yeah.
And then we sometimes just have to wait for either that to come back around or that situation to get resolved. However it will be, whether there's never a conversation, but there's a full, like, I'm good, or there is a conversation that comes later, or there's just a choosing to believe something higher than what we're experiencing in that space. So on that note, we're gonna continue this conversation. We're going a little long here today, which is great because this is such an important conversation. But we're gonna end this conversation and pick it back up in part 2. So thank you for being with us today, and tune in for our next part 2.